welcome to
Someone hang up the phone.
Tuesday, Sunrise Extra. One of the big stories that we had in the show was a very controversial topic, apparently, especially with Rod Hill.
Yeah, apparently, you know what?
Chocolate milk, he just stormed off.
Oh, hello there, Facebook.
Yeah.
If I step out of the shot, Nina, it's not Sunrise Extra, it's Sunrise Only. You're one person away from being by yourself here.
Don't leave me, please.
Everyone
Don't
kind
leave me.
of scattered. Maybe Rod will return.
He's coming back. He just has to do some weather work. So the story is New York City schools are looking at whether to ban chocolate milk from the cafeteria because health experts say it's way too sugary. Kids are already getting enough sugar in their diets. Chocolate milk, I looked this up, has 8 more grams of sugar, added sugar than skim milk.
Okay.
8 grams is 2 packets of sugar that you add in there.
What I read said, what I found online said that chocolate milk basically has as much sugar, I think 1 gram less than a serving of soda. Chocolate milk and soda almost equal in terms of
and that's the argument
sugar
of
intake.
like, who cares if you're getting rid of chocolate milk? It has the same amount of sugar as juice and soda, which are also some other options at school. Other people say, don't ban it. That's the only way my kid is getting any calcium because they're not going to drink plain white milk.
And there's a lot of other nutrients and vitamins in milk that you wouldn't get otherwise. And obviously, yes, they are equal in sugar, the soda and the milk, but that chocolate milk even has a lot more beneficial qualities to the child than just soda. But we'll get to the argument when Rod Hill shows up.
So San Francisco and Washington, D.C. schools got rid of flavored milk altogether. L.A. schools banned chocolate milk like in the early 2000s, but they brought it back because kids weren't drinking any milk. And so they brought it back in 2017.
The kids won.
Yeah, the kids won. So we asked you guys online, are schools going too far in the name of kids' health? Rod says yes. He's going to come back and really let us have it as to why. A lot of you guys are chiming in. Drew, as you get kind of the live comments, I want to show you some of the ones.
We have lots of live ones, but go ahead with
hold
those
on.
that are already there. Yep.
On Facebook, I want to give credit to everyone who has been writing us throughout the show this morning. Holly says, realistically, chocolate milk is one of the worst things you can drink for nutrition, but it is definitely one of the best tasting, yes. Cheryl says, when I was a kid, chocolate milk was only on special days. I think that's how my school was too. Teresa says, some home lunches are full of chips and Oreos. Talk about sugar. Todd says the chocolate milk was usually the only good thing about lunch when I was in school. And then there's a group of people like Christina who say, I don't understand why they serve milk at all. It isn't healthy. Hydrate the kids and provide them with water. Let's see. Lisa, chocolate milk is not a good choice. It's okay to take that choice away. If parents want their kids to have chocolate milk, they can give it to them. So this was, sorry Jay, I'm walking in front of you. This was the article that I posted online if you want to read about it. Does this meal look appetizing? It's pasta and green beans and applesauce. And white milk. Do your kids like white milk?
Yes. My kid, are you asking me directly? Is that a direct question, Mel?
It is a direct question.
Yeah, my kids do drink milk all the time. We go through a lot. And dinner time, it is milk.
Milk.
I drink basically the sparkling water, the flavored sparkling water. So there's that in the refrigerator. There's the filtered water, and then there's the milk. Those are usually the options. But we don't ban chocolate milk in our house. It is considered a treat. And believe me, if the boys had a choice, hey, chocolate or white milk, your choice, whatever you want, whenever you want, they'd go chocolate every time.
Oh, of course.
But I pull it back, right? And part of it is not just I think like, wow, it's so unhealthy. I just think you don't get to have the candy every time.
Exactly.
Or it's a treat every time.
Yeah.
Just have some milk. And then some people argue that milk, even plain milk, is unhealthy for this, that, and the other reason. That is not our argument today. We're wondering if New York City schools are in the right when they throw this
Are we
ban
going too
at
far
their students.
banning things, or do you just let the kids have a choice? What are people saying?
Well, okay, live comments.
Yes.
Let's start with bacon. Toe turkey, say no.
What?
That's the name of the comment.
Oh, okay. I was like, what does this have to do with bacon?
Good morning, bacon. She says, or he says, leave the kids and their milk alone. Okay, it's a pretty simple statement there.
Here we go.
Paul Anderson, who I believe may be one of our viewer recipe participants from this past summer.
Okay.
Good morning, Paul. Regardless of which Paul you are. Good morning, Paul. Get rid of the teachers who teach their opinions and not the curriculums. Hashtag save the chocolate milk.
Save the chocolate.
Save the child.
Yes. Holly Parker says, wow, New York City, you are idiots. That's Holly Parker.
Wow.
New York Cityans, idiots.
How does she feel about Philadelphians?
Naomi says, going entirely too far. This sounds like a Rod Hill statement. Going entirely too far. Many children would never drink plain milk.
Right.
Chris Ketchum says, come on, it's chocolate milk. What's the big deal here? There are a lot of comments, actually.
When they
People
could
chiming
still,
in.
I remember in high school, you could go to the vending machine and oh my God, they had the best little ice pebbles and the cup would drop down and the little ice pebbles and I would get a Pepsi or a Dr. Pepper and it tasted
in what school
so
is this?
good. At Jesuit.
In school?
Yeah, they had vending
soda.
machines and then at the cafeteria, you could get regular milk or chocolate milk.
Right.
But I would always choose pop every time.
We never had
Every
soda
time.
through high school ever, and I think in high school we had a choice for chocolate milk or white milk, but in elementary school I know it was just white milk. But you know, I'm kind of along the lines of the people that this assuming that your life expectancy is going to be cut short because you had chocolate milk in elementary school, I think is total nonsense.
I don't think anyone said life expectancy.
Well, then what's the point? Well, then what's the point?
There's
It's
too much sugar.
obesity, it's
What's the
sugar.
point to that?
Obesity,
Sugar,
behavior issues,
ADD.
kids can't focus when
Because of a pack of sugar and chocolate milk. I would ask you to
Two
show
extra
me. I would
packets.
ask you to show me the documentation that proves what you're saying.
Well, I'll tell you, in my
probably
own
a
personal
lot.
experience, my kids cannot stay focused. They are out of hand. It's getting better now that they're 12, 13. But
Yeah.
as younger kids, you give them sugar. I didn't want to be around them.
Let me ask you, what kind of sugar are you talking about? Like they drank a carton of chocolate milk and you saw this? Or
So
this was
here-
eating a Snickers
you
bar
missed
or what?
this part.
Sugar.
So versus
We're talking, it could be a soda. It could be candy.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk has sugar. Now, there are some natural sugars in chocolate milk, more
Yes,
so than
there
there
are.
are in soda or in juices.
There's
Or not in juices,
natural
pardon, but
sugar in
soda.
skim milk. In chocolate milk, there's 2
Oh, they
extra
add.
full
Yeah, no,
sugar
I
packets
understand. I get that.
in a cup of milk.
Still less than soda, as we pointed out during our Sunday
Yeah.
show.
Paul's not
anyway,
the food
those
guy,
are
by
the
the way.
concerns.
Yeah.
Viewer Paul that's chiming in today, not the viewer Paul that joined us for the viewer recipe segment this summer. Hey, Paul Anderson, we still love and respect. Good morning
Hi,
to
Paul.
you, Paul Anderson.
Good morning, Paul.
You are passionate about this, Rod. Do you have at home the chocolate milk that comes pre-made in the carton already, or do you add the chocolate to your milk to create the chocolate milk experience?
Ooh, like the Hershey's milk.
I mean, I grew up where chocolate milk was kind of a treat. I think I grew up thinking it was more expensive, which is why we didn't have it. I think that's probably what I thought as a kid. And we don't buy chocolate milk that much, but we do have the Nestle's Quick.
I love it. I would
Canister.
squeeze it in until you could
And,
see it like on the
if I
bottom.
feel like a
and
treat,
stir
I'll
it in.
throw myself in the 2
Yeah.
teaspoons and it tastes pretty flippin' good. And I go on to live a fantastic life.
But you're on the side, obviously, of things of like we're just policing ourselves way too much and kids.
Yes, I am.
Okay. What do you
That's
think,
me.
Dad?
I think that milk is not the treat. We go to Wendy's, they want a Frosty, we get a Frosty. I'm
Yeah.
not like banning all sugars. At the end of the night, my boys love the ice cream. I'm down with it. I love the ice cream too. But I think about these things, I think the treats are coming. In some way, shape, or
Yeah.
form. It does not need to be now with the milk. The milk is not a treat.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a cookie or something at school. Okay, people on Instagram, hi. On Instagram, Mrs. Vadamiller says, it's only a little tiny carton of milk. It's not like a huge gallon of
That's true.
sugar
It's
milk.
Yeah.
And if the kids get enough exercise, like in PE class, they're fine.
I have had doctors say that like 2%
She
milk.
also says the guy in the purple shirt is on point. I believe that's
That's
you,
purple
Mr.
shirt.
How many purple shirts we got out here?
I've heard doctors say that it's actually healthy at a certain age. I don't know what the ages are, but when you're younger at some point, that your body actually needs the fat content of like a 2% milk. That I've heard physicians say that like the 2% milk is actually healthier for you than skim milk
Yes.
because the fat content
Good fats,
has some good,
as a kid.
At home, and if I open your refrigerator, what percentage of milk would I find in your fridge right now?
Right now I've got about a half a gallon left in the fridge, and I've got a full gallon on standby.
No, like,
Are you using 1% milk?
1%?
Thank you for understanding the question.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm fine drinking skim milk, but
what is
we like
skim?
to froth it, you know.
Is it
so
1%?
so we buy 2%
Okay.
sometimes to make the froth for the coffee. But
Right now in your
if
fridge,
it-
you have both?
Right now I have a 2% in the refrigerator in the garage, and the skim milk is in the kitchen.
What is skim? Is that 1%
Skim?
fat
No,
free?
it's zero fat, non-fat milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Which
what I
I'm
do.
fine
I do
with.
fat
You have to
free.
get used to skim milk,
Yeah.
or it kind of taste like water on your cereal. But
I agree,
but you
and
get
then I
used to
finally
it,
switched. I was always a 1% girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't need these extra calories. Let's just go full
So
on
your daughter's
fat-free.
drinking the...
She drinks whole milk.
Okay, so
because
right
as
now in your
little
refrigerator, you have the whole milk
And fat-free.
And fat-free milk. Nothing in between.
Both extremes.
We go 1%. We've been 1% for a long time. And man, it is tough to go from, I've tried the fat-free. It is tough going 1% to.
You have to get used to that.
Yeah.
It's thin.
You think, oh, it's only 1%. It's a lot.
I'm back to just now buying the non-fat milk because I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight, and as much as I drink milk, that's a significant source of added calories that I don't need. So I'm back to kind of buying the non-fat.
Somebody says we need to invite a certified nutritionist to this segment,
probably.
Kevin, on Instagram. I think you're right, Kevin.
But you know, the problem is if you had 3 certified nutritionists in, they'd all have different opinions. They would.
Probably.
That's
We're
why
just
we
a
have
few
all
friends
these.
talking about milk. Hate us if you will.
I think we got more serious issues than chocolate milk or white milk.
On the flip side, you're trying to drink whole milk now after drinking 1% all the time. Like that's the
really
opposite.
creamy, isn't it?
It's so I can't even swallow it. I have an
whole
easier
milk
time
is kinda
swallowing
gross.
an egg.
I know.
Really?
Now
Yes.
that we have whole
I'll
milk
take a
in the
sip of
house.
half and half every now and then.
No,
and just
you-
go,
oh,
oh, that's good.
goodness
Because I'll
gracious.
buy the half and half to make mashed potatoes. Makes them a little creamier.
What else are people saying? Because I can't see them
I'm sorry.
on there today. That's okay.
Yes, with Rod, in the scope of things, and all the overpressed and overpressured problems and challenges today's kids have to cope with, this is ridiculous. SHIT.
Okay.
Well, I just think, I think the majority of Americans are like, let's eat smart, everything in moderation. And quite frankly, the choice of milk is not the biggest flaw in your average diet.
Yeah, do you think like hamburgers and pizza at lunch is a bigger issue?
A bigger issue than whether it's white milk or chocolate milk. I absolutely would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie Ralston says, how about making a healthier chocolate milk?
How do you do that? You somehow, are they saying you use a sugar
Cacao?
substitute instead of
Dark chocolate?
It's funny
Sugar?
when we're making the chocolate milk at home, like, if I make it, like,
I'll just sit there and
no, not for me
squeeze.
though, not for you,
Yeah.
for the child.
Okay.
Like I'll put some in. You can see the kid's eyes, like that's not enough.
I need
You
a
didn't do
darker
it.
brown than this, Dad. Yeah.
That's not chocolate milk. That's like light brown milk.
What else we got? We have more people chiming in.
It is
Sergio?
funny. No. Joey Martin says chocolate milk is great for athletes. I would say
It is.
lot
My
of-
husband always makes chocolate milk after he goes
After
for
he
like a
works
long
out.
run or like a bike ride.
Because they need the sugar and calories and all that.
Yes,
in
it
their
does
body.
replace all that stuff. So
my
that's
nephew is the
different
same
than-
way. He's a big workout guy, and he will gobble down a quarter chocolate
He's a
milk
big
after he
workout
works out.
guy.
It runs in the Hill family, being big workout people.
I mean, I do like the fact that the kids get the protein with the milk too. There's some protein gained there that they
there's
wouldn't get
definitely-
otherwise.
At least part of what they're drinking is healthy, period.
Okay, you guys, keep chiming in on this. We have another
else
topic
we
that
got?
we actually, I can't believe how long we talked about this yesterday in our news meeting, like
which
not on
topic?
TV, about astrology and whether you
Wow,
think
that's
it's
wild.
BS, can it help, is it interesting, whatever, because we did a story today on Portland has a school of astrology. You can either go for single classes, there's 1 or 2 year programs to get a certificate because it is not a science. They consider it entertainment or a hobby.
The government does, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, whoever
some
licensed that does
entity.
not consider it to be a
Correct.
science. Okay, I get you.
So over in Northeast Portland, the
Meteorology
Hollywood
is science.
district, they have one of the only schools in the U.S. that you learn astrology. And you do what is called natal charts, which is like the day and time you were born. And they can figure out where the moon and all the planets were, and that makes up your personality. Now, of course, this isn't, everyone born in September isn't the
Holy
exact
cow.
same
But they go back
personality.
to the charts and pinpoint
To
what
the
was
day.
happening
Exactly.
in the heavens.
Yeah,
the
so they
moment
have
you were born.
almanacs, just
Wow.
like you, meteorologists.
that's interesting.
Like, what was happening that
Now, if
day?
we were left in the woods to fend for ourselves, maybe this would have a greater impact on how we turned out. But the fact that we're raised by other human beings, that in turn
Yes.
influences how we turn out.
Family life, socioeconomic background,
The type of
the
milk you drink.
stars,
Right
the
there,
milk.
right? Yeah, too much sugar,
Yeah.
you're gonna be all screwed up.
But I want to know, like, do you ever take astrology into account? Do you ever look at your horoscope?
People
you
definitely
say,
do, right?
Oh, I don't want to do.
Today's the day I should go buy a lottery ticket because it says it's my lucky day or stuff like that,
Exactly.
right?
What do you guys think of astrology?
I feel like the deaths of the daily newspaper has kind of also killed the astrology industry to some degree. I mean, obviously you can go online and find it, but I feel like that daily newspaper, a lot of times people flipped right to, let me see what my horoscope
Take
says.
you 5 seconds to read it. It was entertaining, I think,
Right.
for people more than not. I used to do that when I would read the newspaper. I would flip to it and read it. And to me, the problem is those things, and I'm not discounting anything because I haven't educated myself in astrology, but it does appear that everything is so broadly written.
Right.
That you could almost
And that's why
twist
these
anything
guys are
to
like,
make it
that's not,
to-
your horoscope and what you
that's
read
not
like
it.
that is not.
That's not what they do. Okay.
No. So
All right.
they go way more in depth. Okay. And like they did mine from my actual birthday.
Okay.
And it was pretty dang spot on.
They gave you a full report?
Spot on. They described you as a person, basically?
Yeah, and kind of which way I lean in decisions and how long it takes me to make decisions and kind of, I mean, I didn't get a full consultation, but we did something for the little story.
Wow.
And it's pretty interesting. And they said, so I said, a lot of people are going to see this story and they're going to be like, this is stupid.
Right.
You know, like, what are you spending money going to a school like this? What do you do with this certificate?
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of people can make money on smartphone apps, horoscope apps, and blogs and social media and all this online stuff to actually create horoscopes. You can also have clients where you have, you know, hour-long consultations and give people their.
Wow. But you were intrigued by it, I can tell. You were like, there's something going on.
There was a woman
here.
that worked there who, by all accounts, is very normal. You know, she's not kind of head up in the clouds like a lot of people would think of astrologers. And she worked in the corporate world, and she worked in marketing. And she said she would use astrology in her marketing campaigns on what types of people to gear things toward, depending on what time of year it was, when definitely not to launch a campaign. And she said it really worked. And other people were like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so people use it in all different ways. Some people use it in art.
You know,
I don't know.
So obviously in the field of weather, meteorology, I will tell you that there's a science of figuring out like what's going to happen this winter based on scientists that just follow and plug in the solar cycle, what the sun activity is. It's not what I would consider mainstream, but there is something there to unlock, and it makes me wonder if there's not this is similar, perhaps more to it than the average Joe is really looked into or considered.
Yeah.
I thought the sun's low in activity was kind of us spinning around it.
Something to that, I suppose.
But we were talking about this, a Taurus.
Yes.
What does it say about your personality?
Well,
is it kind of right?
The two things I've always known about Taurus Taurus is stubborn, bullheaded, right? And I've always been a very stubborn, bullheaded. I want to do it my way. I'm not listening to advice and all that. I'm like, oh, I guess, I must be a Taurus. I'm a true Taurus. But then I think to myself, how many other
people are just like you that were born
in that same month.
How many other signs have like a stubborn or bullheaded characteristic tied to it? Because I know a lot of stubborn and bullheaded people in general, and they're not all Tauruses.
And for me, I can go Aquarius. Okay, I can see a lot of those things in me, but the fact is, as I've gotten older, I've really come to realize this. I am very much my mother's son. My mother is not an Aquarian, but my main traits are really my mother in spades.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that's kind of trumped any solar activity that
family
was going on
life,
in my world.
for sure.
Yeah.
What do people say?
Well, people do say about Aquarius, the zodiac sign of Aquarius, it says they're a very difficult group to define.
Oh, yeah.
Aquarians don't like labels, may shy away from any adjective.
Yeah.
Except my mother's son.
I called you handsome the other day.
Even the good ones you might bestow upon them. Aquarians believe in the nature of change and evolution, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I'm just saying that your sign suggests that you aren't fixed on one sort of characteristic or one description.
Well, I'll have to think about that.
Ginny Carlson says she moved away from astrology and horoscopes to daily affirmations, more impactful than the fluff of horoscope. I do believe in the birth order kind of stuff, though.
Huh, interesting. Okay, very thoughtful.
And Raymer is watching us from the Philippines.
Yes.
Hi.
From the Philippines?
Yes.
How cool.
That is cool.
Apparently, as of right now, as far as we know, with our recent data, you are the farthest away viewer. You are watching us farther away than anyone else today.
Did she give us a comment? I want to hear what she has to say from the Philippines.
She has that she's watching from the Philippines.
Oh, give us your opinion if you're watching. I want to know. Philippine.
And if anyone is watching from farther away than the Philippines, let us know. You could be today's winner. And how far away are you?
Yeah.
I wonder if astrology is.
Sadly, there's no prize to whoever wins.
This is, if you guys want to check out this Portland School of Astrology, it's so Portland. Their website, portlandastrology.org, right there. It is, guys, $2,700 to go through 1 year to get your certificate.
And that's, what'd you say that was, a couple hours a week? What's that?
It's like 2 full, it's kind of like the National Guard. It's like 2 full weekends a month.
Oh, is that right?
So
yeah.
people from all over the world come to Portland to learn this.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe
and
it's
they'll
not crazy.
stay for
it's something I wasn't aware of.
2 weeks. Yeah, very interesting.
It was
very
a fun
Portland.
segment. People can watch it online right now. Where and how?
Sunrise 60. Go to YouTube. Ooh, it's not up yet.
Oh man!
I'm gonna go do that right now.
That's
Put
a
it
Nina
online for you.
responsibility.
Yes.
I know. Hey, you guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for Sunrise Extra. Bye.